I'd like you to take a journey in your mind to when you were 5 years old. And your parents bought you that big box of crayons. Here, son. They're so big. Look at all the colors. And there's a sharpener in the base. As a 5-year-old, with that big box of crayons and a blank sheet of paper, you could create anything. Dinosaurs, aliens, even blue giraffes. Now, you'd been to the zoo and you knew giraffes were orange, but you liked them blue. That crayon box was your voice to the world. Then that 5-year-old goes to school and some killjoy adult says, "Hey kid, giraffes aren't orange, they're blue." And the process begins where they slowly start to suck out your soul. And by the time you graduate, you only really want the answer to one question. What do you want me to say, and how do you want me to say it? Now, I have taught college, so I know what a high school graduate is like. They come into my class all the time. Let me compare and contrast a 5-year-old with a high school graduate. A 5-year-old has a big box of crayons. He sees the world with wonderment. He sees the world in 64 colors. A high school graduate only has a number 2 pencil. He sees the world in white and graphite. A 5-year-old has a blank sheet of paper. His mind can go anywhere he wants. A high school graduate knows nothing but the paint by numbers of standardized tests and passive regurgitation. A 5-year-old has all kinds of interesting questions. Dad, is God sad when I do something bad? Son, not only is God sad, but so's your mother. And when mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. Dad, why do cats have tails? Well, son, so you can pick them up and swing them. Nuh-uh. A 5-year-old is smart enough if you give him a dumb answer to say, Dad, why do we fart? Son, it's because we eat your mother's cooking. Now pull my finger. Something is wrong, though, by the time they graduate high school and they get into college, and they only ask 3 questions. Mr. Tipton, can we get out of here early? No! Mr. Tipton, is this going to be on the test? It is now. Mr. Tipton, can we get extra credit? Sorry, the extra credit fairy is all out of magic dust. Something has happened between kindergarten and graduation that is terribly, terribly wrong. Now, when I think back when I went to school, it definitely didn't happen in kindergarten. In kindergarten, we ate cookies, took a nap, and broke out the finger paints. Not a whole lot of psychological damage there. Just imagine if you're at work and the boss comes in and says, "Look, here's a cart full of cookies. We're going to eat cookies, have milk, take a nap, and and then finger paint. Woohoo! The joy, the excitement. So no psychological damage happened in kindergarten. It started in first grade, where they broke us down into reading groups. And the adults thought they'd be cute and they'd name the reading groups by colors, so us kids wouldn't know what was going on. We saw right through it. Now I was placed in the black group, and the black group was the smart kids, and we knew it. Then there were some colors in the middle, and then there were the blue kids. And the blue kids were the dumb kids. They knew it, we knew it. Hey, Bluey, blue, blue, read any good books lately? Now you might think to yourself, well, that's just kids. Kids are mean. But I don't think it was the kids that were mean. It was the adults that put us into the boxes. And we were just putting labels on the things that the adults were really thinking. And imagine that poor blue kid. At the age of 6, he had already been branded with the scarlet A of academic deficiency, to ride with him the rest of his life. The adults taught us a sick lesson, that some children deserve more crayons than others. Now I know what you're thinking. The issues you're dealing with are the education system, and the education system is merely a reflection of our society. And what can we do to change society? Well, think about society. Society is really nothing more than the sum total of all the individual interactions, isn't it? And if we look at the right of the equation, the right of that equal mark, of the sum total, it looks like too big a problem, doesn't it? But if we look at the left, at those individual interactions, we can have an impact. We can make a difference. When society tells us that some people deserve more crayons than others, we can tell society they're wrong. By our individual choices and actions, we can embrace each and every person as an individual, as a person of worth, as a person that has something special inside of them to share with society. When society tries to take away those blank sheets of paper, a person's expression to society, we can stand up for that person's rights. As Americans, we believe in freedom of speech. We believe in First Amendment rights, or at least we claim to. I know some people that are friends of mine on the left, and they hate the Tea Party. They call them bad names like teabaggers. I know some people on the right, they hate the Occupy Wall Street. They call them bad names that I'm not even going to mention in this group. Right? We embrace freedom of speech. We embrace us having that blank sheet of paper until someone says something we don't like. And that's not right, is it? If we want freedom of speech, that means freedom of speech for everyone. And then finally, when people have an empty crayon box, they embrace the empty box. And as individuals, we can look deep inside of each and every person's heart and spirit and find what is true and noble inside of them and help them to express that. So in closing, I'd like you to take a journey back to when you were 5 years old, back to when you viewed the world with wonderment, back to when you saw the world in a rainbow of colors. I am challenging you to look deep inside of yourself and to grab your crayon box.